Hello, Cancer. It is your reading for the month of December. I hope you all are doing well. I know a lot of you Cancers have been going through quite a lot of changes, some that maybe you weren't ready for. Um, um, there's a lot going on for Cancer right now when it comes to love and relationship, when it comes to people in general. I feel like a lot of cancers, not just because I'm a cancer, but I do feel like a lot of cancer, maybe it's the north node in cancer right now and south node in Capricorn. I do feel like cancers right now are at a very productive time of their life, um, in love and relationships, um, seeing seen from different points of views, different walks of life, different culture. I do feel like there's been a lot of illumination, but there's a lot of questions on things, on how things are going to play out. And I feel like a lot of cancers may have been overthinking or overexerting themselves, and now it's time to rest. Um, I do feel like Cancer, I'll get into your reading in a minute. I was just going to briefly discuss what I'm tuning in to the Cancer's energy and what I've observed. A lot of Cancers feel kind of like maybe not on the fence about their relationship or questioning things. I do feel like some Cancers are at a period in their life where they're really trying to understand, you know, relationships at a universal way and perspective. I really feel like a lot of cancers, may have been in the dark about a few things, um, but I feel like it's a growing process. At this point in cancer's life, I feel like a lot of you are going through a birthing process that may not be very easy. It's almost like a woman, and I know a cancer woman, my soon to be future sister in law, she's a cancer. There's a lot of transformation with just being pregnant. And I get to see it firsthand. And it's a lot. It's emotional, it's physically, mentally, spiritually, But I feel like on like a cosmic level, cancers are really going through a very deep, deep, maybe dark a little bit, but a deep understanding. Maybe it's an underworld of, their emotions, people, and situations, and how they are affected by energy, and how they need to recover, and they need to recoup, they need to get back in alignment with source. Um, But as I was saying, cancers are on the threshold of something great. And I feel like a lot of cancers are afraid of what people think, afraid of what people are going to say if there's a part of the aspects of themselves are shown. And I know there are some cancers out there, men preferably, who don't give a fuck what people think. But I feel like women are more sensitive than men. But I'm not saying that in a bad way or like gender, like pushing down each gender. I'm just saying, I just feel like when it comes to men, men can be very, I don't know why the word abrasive came to my mind. Sometimes I don't know why words come to my mind. But anyways, you're on a threshold in your life, Cancer, when it comes to the birthing process, when it comes to learning new things, new ideas, new people. And I feel like you're being asked, spirit is asking you to embark on this adventure in your life. It's a lifetime adventure. Recently I read into, my numerology, and it kind of freaked me out because some of the challenges as me as an individual that I'm going through is overcoming risk in this lifetime and not depending on people with my birth chart and astrology. And that's been a huge shift in my perspective, just in numerology in general, because it looks like to me, I'm in I think one of the cycles I'm in is fruitful and productive. But I feel like in general, as Cancers, embark into this new energy, new upgrades, new transformation, a lot of you are at different periods in your life, whether you're birthing a new idea, birthing a new project, maybe pregnancy involved, maybe getting pregnant. A lot of you are at a time where there's a lot going on, and I can't even explain what's going on. There's not enough time in the day to explain, but I feel like it's easy to get very busy, and we Cancer have been really busy. And I feel like just in general today, I'm taking the day off, not necessarily from social media, but just to recoup from all the energies exposed to me this week. But I think we're coming on top of it. Yeah, I'm gonna use this because I just feel like I need this type of crystal. It's really good. I think it's a selenite, but it's for negative energy. But yeah, a lot of energy going on, a lot of people, a lot of situations, a lot. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking on, well, I was gonna say thin ice. I don't know why that's coming up. But yeah, basically talk about what's going on for you for the month of um, December, Cancer. Alright, so coming into December, you have Two of Cups in reverse. Alright, Cancer. So maybe this has to do with your emotions, the unknown of a relationship, the unknown of union with yourself, a completion, the ending of a cycle to begin a new cycle with maybe a soulmate connection. You also, right by that, has the Two Wands, so no forward movement. And it's funny because, I'm dealing with a Gemini in my relationship, but they had a lot of forward movement. So maybe this is you reflecting, going back in your shell and reflecting maybe all the things that you put into this relationship, all the things that may have not worked out, and really reevaluating what you want in the future with this potential partner or the one that you're currently in. And then right there, you have the Three of Cups with the King of Cups. You could be dealing with a Pisces. I'm not saying for all of you, but for some of you. I don't know why the word coherent came to my mind of this relationship. I do feel like Cancers, you're in a really maybe tight bind with people, maybe not getting everything you need in a specific relationship, but I feel like that cycle is closing out and coming into new. So for some time, yeah, you've been in lack, but I do feel like maybe things are revealing itself in the month of December between you and maybe a third party situation, maybe coming out of a situation with a friendship that you didn't want to invest too much. And I feel like Cancers get in that situation. I don't know if it's resonating with anyone, but take it as it resonates. But I feel like Cancers get in these predicament when we open up too much. And it's not necessarily open up too much of a can of worms or too much of our weirdness. But I think it's about, in some way, owning who you are as a person versus what people think. Like I said, I think it's coming out of a shadow period when it comes to your relationships and owning your responsibility and taking things more seriously. Like when it comes to soulmate connections versus, maybe the reality of what you want versus friendship. And I feel like you're in between two worlds when it comes to those, like managing maybe your friendship, managing, clients or those that you work with, and trying to stay in tune with the relationship you're in. I do feel like for some of you, there's been a lot of um, maybe drawback or pushback when it comes to these relationships. Maybe withdrawal a little bit because you're feeling like awkward to open up to any connections. So maybe this is a hint that it's okay to be open and vulnerable. I just feel like you're scared maybe to venture out on these new horizons or new places you've never been to when it comes to love and relationship, when it comes to friendship, close, nitty gritty connections. You're afraid to open up. You're afraid to expand on something that maybe you want, maybe that you desire. And it's getting out of that, getting out of your head on overthinking too much. A lot of you have been overthinking, I feel like, on your relationships or friendships. And I feel like it's time to get out of that cycle. It's time to really just work on what is solid in front of you. Work on what is gravitating to you. Work on who's putting in the time, who's putting in the effort for you to make something work. I feel like a lot of you have been juggling something. Maybe juggling work, maybe juggling finances, maybe juggling a relationship. And I feel like there's a lot of inner guidance within you to take a forward new leap of faith. But I feel like you want something solid long term when it comes to these relationships, when it comes to something that you're seeking for. And without you seeking, I feel like intuitively you want something maybe with more new beginning, new passion in it. And I feel like, you're kind of juggling what you want. Because I feel like ultimately at the end of the day, you have this soulmate connection with whoever you want or whoever you're with currently. But I feel like there's a need to venture out to something new when it comes to how do you operate, the inability, how do you operate between two worlds, between, finances, between work related issues, between coworkers. Like, how do you balance it off? And I feel like a lot of you have been indecisive on how do you create the stability or the value of something when it becomes something maybe right now it's not solid, but maybe in the future you want something solid. Let's see if we can get more clarity.